The White House press secretary earlier was asked, what message does she have to Trump supporters who want the president to end U.S. involvement in foreign wars? Here's her response.
Trust in President Trump. President Trump has incredible instincts, and President Trump kept America and the world safe in his first term as president in implementing a peace through strength foreign policy agenda.
All right, our panel's back. CNN special correspondent Jamie Gangel also joining us. Jamie, wonderful to see you. I want to play a little bit of what some of Trump's supporters said to CNN over the course of the presidential campaign, because I have to say, when I traveled the country, when I went to campaign events, when I was at the convention, this is something you would hear about regularly, that voters would bring up kind of on their own. They would say, I think Trump is going to keep us out of World War III or similar. Let's listen to a little bit of this.
All this World War stuff that's going on, and I don't feel like we've been participating the way we should.
I'm interested in giving less money to foreign wars.
If Harris gets elected, we are going to go into World War III.
Trump is an anti-war president.
We need somebody who's going to stand up for the American people. Like, everybody focus on this war.
I mean, sort of, there you have it, right? And what do you make of that?
Lindsey Graham was none of those people.
No.
Look, I think that what we're going to see here, if Trump decides to move ahead, is that he thinks he can bring the base along with him. There's no question that that's the way they feel. At the end of the day, I've spoken to several former Trump administration officials from Trump 1.0, people who watched him make difficult situations in high stakes moments like the Soleimani assassination. And what they say to me is Donald Trump is risk averse. And yes, the last person who speaks to him, in his ear, but at the end of the day, Donald Trump trusts his own instincts. And what we should watch for is, does he think at the end of the day, this will make him a loser or a winner?
David Sanger, one of the people that has been talked about as a central figure here is Tulsi Gabbard, the DNI, right? Now, our reporting from our Katie Bo Lillis is that she basically has been kind of exiled from the White House. Trump's annoyance apparently peaked, this is according to our colleague Katie Bo, when she posted a 3-minute video warning the world is closer to the brink of nuclear annihilation than ever before.
It was quite a video. You gotta look at it.
Yes, blaming political elite and warmongers. Trump viewed the video as thinly veiled criticism of his consideration to allow Israel to strike Iran. And many inside the White House agreed Gabbard was speaking out of turn, the person added. Obviously, we know where she stands on expansive wars or and non-ending foreign wars. But she also is the keeper of American intelligence. How are those two things interacting?
Well, not well right now. I mean, the Director of National Intelligence is not there in a policy role. They are not there to give policy advice. They are there to give the best assessment of the intelligence community. And boy, did that come up today in the briefing, because the very last question that was asked of Carolyn Levitt at that briefing was, how long would it take the Iranians to build a weapon? And she said, well, there's been a lot of confusion on this. And then she went on to say it would just take a few weeks, which is essentially an Israeli analysis. The U.S. analysis, which really hasn't changed much in the past few months or even the past year, is it would probably take them a year. Maybe they could carve 4 or 6 months off of that if they built a faster, cruder weapon that didn't have to fit on a warhead. I've never heard, except at the White House podium today, anybody in the intelligence community, and Jamie, you tell me if I'm wrong here, say that they could build a weapon in a few weeks.
He is right, as always.
That's why we invite him.
Yes,
and you
exactly.
as well.
Everybody knows you don't put off the hard work till the last day of the semester, though. And so we shouldn't wait to take out Iran's capability to make a nuclear weapon the day before they can do so. Israel's done a great job of taking out their nuclear facilities. What the president has to decide right now is this the cheapest time to do it? Is this the easiest time? Because Iran's on their knees right now.
So let's watch a little bit. You mentioned that the video is remarkable, and we talked about the reporting. But let's watch a little bit of it. Congressman, you said that you served with Tulsi Gabbard. You know her, the Director of National Intelligence. Let's watch some of this video that she posted recently. Watch.
This is the reality of what's at stake, what we are facing now. Because as we stand here today, closer to the brink of nuclear annihilation than ever before, political elite and warmongers are carelessly fomenting fear and tensions between nuclear powers. We must reject this path to nuclear war and work toward a world where no one has to live in fear of a nuclear holocaust.
I mean, that is a remarkable statement from a Director of National Intelligence. From a political candidate, fine, but that is not what that was.
Yeah, some showmanship in there too, right? I think what Tulsi's concern is, at least, and I'm not going to speak for her, but there is hesitancy in engaging in something over in the Middle East after we just withdrew from 2 wars, and I think that hesitancy is shared by a vast majority of Americans, especially those people who grew up in those 2 wars and spent trillions of dollars. Our nation is buried in debt partly because 2 of those wars. And so I think there's a lot of hesitancy in engaging in something like that. And I think that comes out in that video.
From a political perspective, though, that is not what you do in that job at all. And I think all you need to hear, what were Donald Trump's words? I don't care what she said. If you are in one of these treasured intelligence positions, that's not the way to use it.
Really, it's unlike anything I've ever seen from an intelligence professional. We heard most recently from Caroline Leavitt telling us what the president has not decided here. He has decided that he is going to, in the next 2 weeks, make some sort of decision. Take us behind the scenes.
Yeah, Casey, that's right. And we asked a lot of questions about this, particularly 2 weeks. What does that mean exactly? Does that mean he's going to pull the trigger and approve some kind of an attack plan on Iran in 2 weeks if there is no deal made? Or he's just going to come to a conclusion within those 2 weeks? And we do know behind the scenes that there is a belief that there's still a chance for diplomacy. And that's obviously what Donald Trump here is trying to get at, what he's trying to do, because as you said, he doesn't want to act in this moment. Now, remember, this is not the first deadline that the United States has given Iran. We had 60 days. Now we're adding 2 weeks. And I asked Caroline Leavitt specifically about that extension, why we think we could get something done in 2 weeks if we weren't able to get it done before. Here's what she said. We have heard from a number of U.S. officials who say that Iran doesn't want to make a deal, that they are just stringing the United States along. What is to say that they are not going to continue to do so if we continue to give them extensions, now 2 weeks before 60 days?
Look, Iran is in a very weak and vulnerable position because of the strikes and the attacks from Israel. And with respect to the president's statement, I shared that with all of you. And he has been very direct and clear. Iran can and should make a deal. We sent a deal to them that was practical, that was realistic, or they will face grave consequences.
So you hear her there talking about how they believe that Iran has become weaker because of these strikes, which might bring them to the negotiating table. Now, there is something else that we know, which is the Middle Eastern envoy, Steve Witkoff, has been in touch, and his team has been in touch with their counterparts in Iran at this time during the last several weeks, during even the last several days. The question now is, will they come to the table? Because both sides seem to say that they don't want to budge. And one thing to note is that Witkoff did meet with the United Kingdom's foreign minister today. That is important because that foreign minister is actually going to Geneva to meet with Iran's foreign minister on Friday.